definitely appreciate it.
On November 19, 2011, a tragic incident took place that resulted in the death of my dad, Kenneth Chamberlain Sr. Words cannot begin to express what my family was feeling regarding this incident, and no one should ever have to go through anything like this. It would appear that after listening, reading, and watching stories regarding this incident, there has been a rush to judgment, and my family and I feel it's only right to tell you about the man that we know. He is a father.
Go ahead, bro.
Take your time, man.
He is a father, a grandfather, a brother, uncle, friend, a retired Westchester County Corrections Officer, and a United States Marine, Semper Fi. He's a kind and gentle, God-fearing man who kept to himself, but always willing to help someone out in their time of need. So that the valuing and disparaging comments and depiction of my father as some sort of sociopath is inaccurate, to say the least. We have been told by the district attorney's office that there will be a complete investigation surrounding the events that took place on the 19th. My family and I expect nothing less than a full and honest investigation as promised by the White Plains Police Department and the Westchester County DA's office. It is our understanding that there is audio and video of my father's final moments, and we want the truth to come out. We have gone through a painstaking effort not to rush to judgment, but we believe my father has already been prematurely judged by the media coverage of his death. I have several friends who are local, state, and federal law enforcement officers, and I want everyone to know that we're not anti-police. My father was law enforcement. Nevertheless, we are concerned about the challenges that a department faces when it has to investigate itself. For this reason, we believe that there should be an independent agency to investigate my father's death and all matters where police use deadly force. For now, I want to say thank you for all your support my family and I are receiving around this, and we ask that everyone please be patient and allow the facts to speak for themselves. Thank you.
Because as much as we hope that we can give good advice, it's not so easy always to follow that advice. And under these circumstances, he has been as much of a man as anybody could possibly be. When other people in the community have expressed their outrage, and when other people in the community have expressed their anger, he was the one. And I personally observed him telling people, asking people, and begging people, praying for people to remain calm and to give people an opportunity to investigate this case. And I think that we have to look and realize that Mr. Chamberlain was killed right before Thanksgiving. And Mr. Chamberlain, his death prevented his family from doing what all of us were able to do, which is celebrate, to share Thanksgiving with the people closest to us. Instead of being able to do that, they had to plan for an unanticipated funeral. Instead of being able to do that, they had to plan and try to pull together finances to bury their father. And Thanksgiving is something, no matter what it may mean to you, that you're going to be forced to live with every year. This is going to come back every single year. And as my friend Wendell and I were watching the news on News 12 the night that Mr. Chamberlain had been killed, the coverage led us to believe that the police were the target, just looking at the way it was situated. there was a police vehicle with a target on the vehicle. Now, we didn't have any facts at that time, but we later learned that clearly the police were not the target. And I'm going to give you some of the information that I'm comfortable sharing with you. I believe that this is factual, and I think it's important that you know exactly how this all came to be. The police did not arrive at Mr. Chamberlain's house because someone reported any crime. The police arrived at Mr. Chamberlain's house because his life alert had gone off. Mr. Chamberlain was a 68-year-old man, 5'8", 5'9". He had a heart condition. He suffered from emphysema. His life alert went off at about 5 o'clock in the morning. And at that time, the police did what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to respond to make sure he's okay. His sister received a phone call from Life Alert, alerting her that her brother was in distress and was non-responsive because they couldn't contact him. And it's our belief that what really happened is that it was a false alarm because he was responsive. He was probably just sleeping because it's 5 o'clock in the morning. The police arrived, asked him to open the door. He was on the phone with Life Alert, with his sister. His sister was on the phone with Life Alert. The police were at his house for at least an hour, trying to get him to open the door. And his niece was present at the same time. And I mention all of this because we need to know how this all came to be. They didn't respond to Mr. Chamberlain committing a crime. They did not respond to anyone being harmed in the house. It's our understanding that his niece was asked, does he have any family here, and that she advised him that she was his niece. The initial portrayal of Mr. Chamberlain was of a person who created this situation, and it gave the impression that he somehow is responsible and caused this to happen. Now, I can't tell you right now exactly what happened because I wasn't there. What I can tell you is that my understanding is that there's going to be video footage of what happened, maybe from several sources. My understanding is that there's going to be audio tape of what happened. And we're comfortable that we know that there are witnesses who observed lots of what happened. And we don't know who all those witnesses are. And again, in order to help make sure that we can get to the truth, if you have any information, do not be afraid to share that information. I will tell you now, do not be afraid to share that information. There will be no retaliation against you. It is important that that information comes out. And the family is seeking the truth. That's all we want to hear. We will live with the truth. Mr. Chamberlain talked about his father because it's important that those first reports are cleared up. That's not what happened. I don't think it was mentioned that he was a 68-year-old man. I don't think it was mentioned that he had a heart condition or that the police were there for a medical emergency. And that should change the way things are looked. It still doesn't tell us the whole story, but it clarifies misinformation that was given earlier. We know he was a father. We know he was a brother. We know he was a person who was beloved in his community. We know that he was a 20-year veteran of the Department of Corrections. He was a law enforcement officer who retired from that job. We know that he served the United States as a Marine. We know that he was a grandfather and a friend. We know that he was a person who was caring and giving, and that he would give anything he could to anybody. If he had it, he would give it to you. We always seem to be here. Whether it's Sean Bell getting shot in New York City right before his wedding day, whether it's Christopher Ridley, who's an off-duty police officer, who's trying to help somebody who's in distress, just a few blocks from where we are right now, getting shot by the police. Whether it was a mistake or something other than that doesn't matter. The fact is that we're talking about the same set of circumstances. We're talking about the same tragic results. Or whether it's Danroy Henry, who's a college student, playing football at Pace University not very far from here in Pleasantville, getting shot and killed by the police. And again, we are not here to judge the police because we don't have the information yet. But we want that information. In fact, we are going to demand that information. We want to have access to the videotapes. We want to have access to the audio tapes. And the videotapes and audio tapes change this situation from those because there's something objective we can look at and see. One thing that we do know is that the best witness is no longer here with us. The best witness can't tell us what happened. Can't tell us what he was feeling at 5 o'clock in the morning when he was being woken up. Can't tell us why he did what he did or did not do something. But what we have done also is Ken and I and Damon and many of the other people who are here today have agreed that it's not enough for people to get upset. It's not enough for us to go out and march. It's not enough for us to get angry. It's definitely not appropriate, and it's not going to help anybody if we lose control and do things that are inappropriate or that are based on emotions. But what we have pledged is that if we have anything to do with it, no other family is going to go through what the Chamberlain family is going through today. And that means no family. I don't care where you live, whether you're wealthy, you're poor, what your race is. No one else should have to go through this. Now, it's our understanding that Mr. Chamberlain was confronted in his home by the police. Now, there is a suggestion that he held a hatchet. The video will show, hopefully, whether he held a hatchet or not. But even if he did, it's my understanding that that was taken away from him. And that after that was taken away from him, he was shot with a taser. And that taser, for whatever reason, did not work. Now, it could have been, I don't know why. I'm not even going to speculate as to why, because I don't know. But after he was shot with the taser, he was shot with a shotgun that is fitted to have beanbags in it. And that beanbag shotgun is non-lethal force, supposed to be non-lethal force that allows police to subdue somebody that needs to be subdued. And I'm suggesting to you that it's not meant to take down a weak person. It's meant to take down someone that they need assistance in taking down. It's meant to take down a strong, able-bodied person. He was shot 4 times with that. And it's my understanding that after that, he was unable to be subdued, and he was shot twice in the chest with a handgun and killed as a result of that. And I'm going through all of this information because many of us have not heard this information, or we have heard varying stories of the information. And what I'm going to ask of all of us is that we honor his memory and honor this family, which is as good a family as we will ever find in the United States or anywhere else in this world, by following their request in terms of how we conduct ourselves during our demand for this investigation to be full and fair.
My name is Damon Jones, Executive Director of the Westchester Chapter, Blacks in Law Enforcement of America. We have been trying to address this issue for the last 10 years in Westchester County. This is a very important issue. We have seen young men, black men in particular, being brutalized and shot at or killed by police throughout the various cities and towns of Westchester. We have watched Detective Ridley be shot and killed. We have watched Detective Ridley shot and killed. We have watched a New York City police sergeant on his way to work being abused, beat up by Yonkers police. And in every instance, we watch the press make these police officers look like bumbling fools that is justified for them to be shot and killed by their white counterparts. And I'm saying to you tonight, if they could do that to police officers that are black men, these young black men right here tonight don't have a chance. They don't have a chance in hell. But we cannot continue to have meetings and nothing come out of it. It's up to the people now. It's up to you. We have given the information that y'all need to move forward. You have to hold the elected officials accountable. The police work for y'all. Y'all are taxpayers. Yeah. Y'all are taxpayers. They work for y'all. They go to protect and they go to serve. Not every police officer is bad, but we must have accountability to those bad ones that abuse our children. I'm a black man. Let's get it straight. I'm a black man. You're not coming in my community beating up my kids and think you're going to get away with it. It has to be some type of accountability, and we have to go with the law. But if the DA is not going to do it, Mr. Attorney Janet DCR, she has not brought any charges
on one police officer. On one police officer. You have the Department of Justice in Yonkers. You have the DJ Henry case. You have county cases that haven't made the paper, but they come to us, the NAACP, different organizations, and they make complaints. And she has not investigated it. Not one case. So what does that say? Does it say the life of black people in Westchester County doesn't mean anything? I'm just being real because I see it. And I'm tired of talking to families and they're crying. And they're crying. I see this all the time. It's nothing new. This is my brother here. Kenny is my brother. We grew up together. We grew up together. I've been getting calls from retired correction officers for 2 weeks asking about his father, because they have heard he's been shot and killed. He retired before I started. I started in 1990. And you can't tell me that you can't disarm a 68-year-old man when you got SWAT team outside.
The only way it's going to change is if we gather together. So when I walked around and I got your name, we're going to follow up. We will be calling you. We will be emailing you. But we need you to be a member, and secondly, to show up. So a life ended too soon. You know, our condolences to the Chamberlain family. I thank you for allowing me this platform. I did consult with them because I'm passionate about our coming together as a people, and I'm passionate about saving our young black men. And when I went around and took the names of my black brothers, I specifically told them, it's time for the men to step up. Yeah. Come on. We have to make the sacrifices. We had a call to action for jobs not long ago, right in front of the MLK statue. We were out there saying, we demand jobs. You know how many that we were? You were not there. You were not there. So what impression does that give, right? Now when the unions came out and the unions said, oh, we're going to set up a platform, we're going to make it big, then we had more people, yes, but you were still not there. And I told the union, one reason you were not there is that you weren't being allowed in the union shops. I told them that. Yeah. So what we got to say is, everybody got to be accountable. We got to stand up for justice wherever there is injustice. We're looking for a thorough investigation on this matter. We're not going to back off. We don't understand why this life was taken, and we know it is very difficult for an agency to investigate itself. So the NAACP stands behind the call for a civilian review board. We stand behind that. We know, and Dr. Collingworth said it years ago, I'm going to quote him now. He says, you know, there's an element among the people of this country who like to think of us as inherently criminal, ignorant, lazy, and lacking ambition. They have certain stereotypical patterns they would like for us to fit into. They like to think of us as fools, buffoons, and Uncle Toms rolling our eyes and eating watermelons. But in spite of this, we are still turning out our teachers, our doctors, our lawyers, our chemists, our engineers, our architects, our social workers, our artists, our fighters and superior athletes, our boys and girls who can build airplanes, battleships, guns, and we still, year by year, day by day, Against every obstacle, we are moving forward. We are reaching for the stars. And although we may not reach the stars, a lot of us are coming back with stardust. And that's something. That was Dr. Collmore. Is there anybody in the room who had Dr. Collmore as a dentist? Nobody. Okay, that's all right. What you need to know is that name, Collmore. And it's up to me to lift up our history. I lift it and I give it to you because you ought to know who he was. We have much work to do. Let our outrage resonate with presence. There's some things you can be present for right now. Yes, there's a letter writing campaign because I don't know what family courts you all have been to, but if you've been in Yonkers or New Rochelle, you know you're waiting all day, you're going up one elevator, you're sitting outside, you're herding in like cattle. How are we going to change it? The legislature is getting ready to vote on a budget. The budget hearing is December 6th, this Tuesday, right over here in the Machiavellian building. Yes, you can show up. That's what you could do. I'm going to show up, and I'm going to have something to say about it. I have letters here directed to Mr. Astorino. As a citizen, you are taxpayers, sign the letter. Let me walk in there and say, I'm not alone. Let that happen, okay? So we got to start showing up. On December the 10th, some of you picked up the Stand for Freedom flyer that was out there. What's that about? Well, it does matter who you vote for. I mean, yeah, the Democrats ain't all that, but we got a say, right? And what they're trying to do is take away that say. Stand for freedom. Here's another thing. Stand for freedom. We don't want to have to show ID at the voting poll. So there's a lot you can do. There's a lot you can do. But right now, I'm just going to say this. I don't want to meet like this again either. Dan Roy Henry was wrenching, a young man, cut down, and it's not over. Kenneth Chamberlain, someone who fought in the U.S. Marine, cut down. Will you stand for something? Will you stand up now? Will you come out now? Will you answer the call? Let's not have these meetings on this tragic kind of circumstance. Let's have the meetings where we are demanding what is rightfully ours.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here for the Martin Luther King Institute. I am co-chair of the organization with Reverend Omega Maddox, who's head of lead. I'm here, as you are, in sympathy with and condolences for and support of the Chamberlain family. And I'm here to say that as an organization, we want to be present and to find how we can be helpful and useful and take leadership when appropriate in the process of understanding what really happened in this instance and helping to develop what others were speaking about, a real institutionalized permanent mechanism for civilian oversight of police in Westchester.
The family, my condolence, and to let them know that we're praying for you and know the hurt, sadness in your heart. We all know that one day the Lord will call us. When things like this happen, there's no cause for it. And so, and I'm also the chairman of the Ministers Fellowship Council of White Plain and Vicinity. And we do meet with powers that be, from the mayor on down, in reference to certain situations. We have contacted the chief of police, and we asked him to come to our meeting and tell us what happened. And they agreed to come they cooperate with us pretty good. Pretty good because we are the pastors of the city. So we have a lot of support backing us up. If we don't vote for you, chances are you don't get in office. And so when voting time comes, you all want to come to our office. And we love our city, support our city. And so, we're waiting on the police department to give us a date when they can come. It's really soon, next week sometime. And that they will give us a report. I am tired like you are. And what I'm hearing, I can feel that you are tired of coming to these kind of meetings. You're tired of people killing us. I fail to understand a group of policemen after shooting a man and doing all these things, he's weaker than he was when he started out. And you still have to shoot him? My heart is hurting. They don't care. And so, on next week, they're going to talk to us, and we hope to have a better understanding. As chairman, I would like to invite our lawyer and the son, and also this gentleman here that just finished talking, the chaplain, you say. I would like to invite you three that when we get the policemen in our room, that you could help us with the question that they have to answer. Because we are serious. You are our people, our members. You're not a member of our church, sister, brother, cousin, kid, you know. We are one.
And to this fine family, to my brother, and to this fine family, to all of my other brothers that are smoking, I just came to give a report that God is still good. Let me say it one more time. I came to give a report that God is still good. I'm a man of faith. I'm a man of God. And there's one thing I know, is that God loves us and He will take care of us. Amen. And there's a song that says, don't be dismayed, whatever betide, God will take care of you. Believe that tonight. Tonight, this is a beautiful gathering, but we did not come. I want the record to show. I want those that are taking notes and videos, let it show we did not come tonight for revenge. Hear me and hear me well. We did not come tonight for a payback. But we came tonight for justice and truth. We came tonight, I came tonight, but church came tonight, there's some other churches that came tonight. We came to stand with this family. We came to stand up for truth and for righteousness. We came because what bothered me when I read the newspaper article, when I was in Mount Vernon, I read the newspaper article, and it said that the police said that they had history with my brother, King Chamberlain. And so I came tonight to let you know not only did they have history, but I got history.
That's right.
I know Brother Chamberlain to be a man of character, a man of integrity, a man of value. He wasn't just a man who would just stand there and let you run over him, but he was a strong man. He was a man of God. And I'm not here to get into the legal aspect, but I have to agree with the lawyer. It makes no sense that it took 5 police officers, 5 beanbags, a taser to stop, and then 2 bullets in the chest to stop a 68-year-old man.
Yeah.
That you said you came to help. But I've come tonight to let this family know that we're standing with you. We're standing with you in faith. We're standing with you in justice. And we're going the mile with you. We're not going to stop. And what I want to tell White Plains is that don't let this be your last gathering. Don't let this be your last gathering. And those of you that have church homes, talk to your pastor. Because I'm going to say this in my closing, but for too long, we churches have been silent.
Yes.
For too long, we churches have been invisible. Folks will come and they'll walk through our blocks and they'll see us outside picking up the paper and they say, I never realized the church was here. Too long. So no longer will we be silent.
That's right.
Because silence, somebody said, is golden, but no, silence will get you killed. So we have been silent long enough. And can somebody just repeat with me? Enough. I had enough. Enough police brutality. I had enough misuse of the barbering machos. Say enough. So we don't remember anything else tonight. I didn't come to preach, but I feel preaching. Remember, we have stood for enough. And now it's not time to be silent. I'm not saying raise up arms and get ready to fight. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying it's time to rally together as a people, as a strong people, as a people of faith, and as a people of God. God bless you. I love you, and we're standing with this concept.